Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Comic Talk, episode number 29. As you see, I got a full panel members here tonight, and you see some faces on here that have not been on here for quite some time. And after much just nagging on my end of trying to get these beautiful, sexy folks on here, I finally was able for them to grace us with their presence. So welcome. Let me go ahead and go down the line, introduce the panel members. First of all, my boy Ray Jr. is actually doing a cross-country travel right now. He's actually in Washington. He's doing some family stuff. So he's not going to be able to join us tonight. But first of all, my sweet hostess we got with us, Jenna. Since Ray's not here, we're gonna have to set up for this pretty face right here. What's going on, Jenna? Say hello to everybody and tell everybody what's going on with you.
Hey, not much right now. I'm just trying to survive the heat out here in Arizona. We got up to 90 today.
Awesome. Where's Jeremy at?
He's back here. He's inking right now.
He's too busy. He's too good for us right now, basically. Okay. Well, welcome once again, Jenna. And we'll go ahead and start from, you know what, I always go my left. Let's go ahead and start from my right, which is probably your left. We got with us Kevin from Kevin's Comics. What's going on, brother?
Yo, motherfucker.
Kev, how's everything been going? I know busy with school and everything. Anything exciting on your end?
It's because I got a job, and I usually finish working at like 7 p.m., so the time I come here and then I eat, I just don't have time to go on the show, but I watch you guys. But yeah, just happy to be back on the show talking about comic books. Man, we've got a shitload of things we're going to talk today. I'm so excited. Okay,
we got a lot of stuff, and once again, thanks for joining us again, Kevin. It's great to see you back with us. Now, based off today, Trevor right here, Rage Comics fits in very, very well based off a lot of discussions we had today. But let me go ahead and introduce you guys to Trevor from Rage Comics. What's up, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm just stacking my books, getting ready to retire on them behind me here. I'm going to swim in them like Scrooge McDuck. It's going to be good times. So thanks for having me on.
Always glad to have you on. We got Marky Mark, my brother from the other side, from Marky316. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Man, we got some good topics. A lot of things to talk about. Can't wait, so let's just do this shit.
Let's do it, brother. Great to have you on again, as always.
Hell yeah.
We got Manuel from Manny NYC, man. Great to have you back, brother. How's things going on your end?
Everything's good, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Oh, it's always great having you, man. You know, we can't have a show without you either, brother. But thanks a lot for joining us once again, man.
No doubt.
All right, for a second appearance back on to Comic Talk, we got with us James. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good. And I'm just sitting here, glad to be back, and I'm living the dream.
Living the dream. Always great to have you back, too, and I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, everybody, vote for the man right here, the mayor. We've got with us Jeff. What's up, Mr. Mayor?
And just remember, a vote for me is a vote for comics. Thank you. God bless America. Good to be on the show, man.
Awesome, brother. Glad to have you.
You need to make a hat of that.
He's got to make a hat. All right, Jean-Paul Ace Peter, a.k.a. Sean, man, the godfather of our YouTube comic book community right here. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? It's good. What's up, everybody? I'm just rounding up my books, getting ready. I'm going to go over to Rage's house for a swim.
Thanks for coming on as always, brother. And this sexy beast we got right here, our last very special guest we got with us, Enriquez. He hasn't been on for quite some time. Biggie's Comics, what's going on, brother?
What's up, everybody? Just happy to be back on. Been busy the last couple of weeks, you know, between work and family and everything. But I was able to get on today. Monty, thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be back. Can't wait.
Oh no, brother. Thanks for coming on. I know you're a busy guy, but I definitely appreciate you as well as the other panel members taking the time out of your busy schedule just to grace us with y'all's presence. Just come on the show and we'll just talk comic books and have a good time. Do it. So once again, welcome, Enrique.
Thank you.
Oh man, what a week, man! What a week. I mean, not major comic news, but splatters of comic news here and there that kind of made the headlights from one point or another. Jenna, what's our first talking point today?
Are we going off the list or what we were talking
Yeah,
about?
we're gonna go off the list. We'll start off the list first, and we'll just see where that takes us.
Yeah, well, the first topic that we were going to talk about is, besides online, where do people like to hunt for comics?
Maybe I'm an old guy, but I go to Comic Cons for the actual comics,
You go to Comic Cons, you're spoiled.
Well,
You're such an old man, Kevin. Jeez.
I know, you spoiled old man.
God damn.
What do you guys think as far as the comics at the Comic Cons? Do you think you find better deals there? Do you think you're better off at your LCSs? I mean, what places do you guys like to preferably shop at, whether it be a local comic book store or even at a garage sale? I don't know, man.
For me,
here in Newfoundland is getting grim now. It's like there's nowhere to go, and all the shops are just tax stuff. They're putting tax on back issues and stuff. And so really in Newfoundland, my only option is online at this point.
Yeah, sometimes online you can find stuff, and then also, if it's not just your local comic shop, it's always, if you feel like going out of the way and maybe going a couple miles down the road, you could probably find stuff. Like, I live over here in Northern California. Like, I could go and check a comic shop in Oakland, but if I can't find what I'm looking for, then I'm probably going to head on down to San Jose. So, I mean, not everybody has that kind of option, but if I can't find what I'm looking for, there's always a comic convention coming up, like during the summer, and you can always, check online, like Sean was talking about.
But I don't know for you guys, but here in Craigslist, there's not that much guys selling comic books. And I can't, when I see some people's video about what they found on Craigslist, like the guy was selling for $200 a long box, and in his long box he got like 3 issues at $2 a piece, at $300 a piece, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have this kind of thing here. I don't know for you guys if you have the luck of having a Craigslist full of comic books.
I've never looked on Craigslist for comic books. That's a new one. I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, I have. I looked on
Really?
Craigslist.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, you get good finds on Craigslist for comic books. My friend
again-
always
I'm
does.
a
And then you get
single-
murdered.
I'm a single white female. You can't do that.
Again, I'll reiterate, we don't even have a Craigslist here in Newfoundland. Seriously, I could find anything but comics here in Newfoundland. Terrible.
Yeah, we have Kijiji.
For me, I prefer my LCSs. Like, most of the gems I found this year have been at my LC, Honey Hole. Both of them, both local shops we have in Staten Island, have been finding good keys. But this spring now in Staten Island, they do a lot of yard sales. So I was telling Manny and Carlos that they gotta join me on on the weekends. Once spring gets full in effect, they're gonna pop up a lot, and we can find stuff.
We in there.
Well, I noticed too when it comes to your LCS, especially if you have a really good LCS and you get to know some of the people in there, they will take care of you. You know what I mean? They will definitely take care of you, especially if you buy bulk from them. You buy and just communicating with them on the things that you're trying to complete runs on, or if for whatever you're looking key issues. I mean, they're. Yeah, keep a pull list with them, or just see them every day.
I went today, as a matter of fact. I pick up my list. He tells me tomorrow I'm bringing a whole bunch of Fantastic Four from issues 100 to lower, to the bottom.
Nice.
Yeah, and they're the ones that can find you these things as well. Because that's what they're doing. That's besides posting modern books every week or so, they're going to be able to talk to other people, and they probably know some, what do they call them, honey pots, or yeah, they call them honey pots,
holes.
honey holes that you can go to. So I don't know. I mean, there's a variety of ways, different places you can collect. Me personally, I frequent my LCS, of course, but you know, luckily we have 3 different comic places that you can actually go to within this town right here, and there's a town, you know, within like the outskirts of this and everything else that I can go to if I decide I want to drive, but. It's just a matter of where you go. And conventions, too. Conventions, when conventions come up, some of these dealers, if you're not necessarily always looking for key issues, because, you know, you'll have those backwall key issues on the back, but sometimes they'll have these 50% off boxes or these dollar boxes that you
Yeah,
can
look
go
for
to.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarter
You-
boxes I had last
This
weekend. Quarter boxes.
this is
Which
exactly
summer?
the main reason why I love Comic Cons is those dollar bin, you know, because in my area there's only one shop that I know of, well, 2 shops that does dollar or 50 cents bins. All the others are like $3, $4. So each time I go to Comic Cons, I just go through every single box. It takes me the whole day, but I don't mind. Because, you know, you can find some pretty sweet thing. You know, I found the first appearance of Angelica last year when Angelica was getting big with Marvel for
Right.
$1.
Yeah.
Well, with summer coming up now too, I can give some advice. Man, go out early. You don't know what you're gonna find. Not everyone. You always think like, well, it's already picked, or no one's gonna have anything out, man. But with summer, with the yard sales and
Yep.
garage sales,
Mm-hmm.
go out nice and
Yeah.
early, man. Make a plan of it. Make a day of it. Get your significant other. Get your kids. Go on out and bring a pile of cash with you. Bring $100 with you and go out, and I guarantee you'll come back
Also
with a big
check your
bash.
churches too. Sometimes they do
Church.
church sales. Church
Churches?
Man, ain't nobody looking for church comics.
No. I don't know about you guys, but my churches out here, the wherever they are, they get like the community together and they bring their old shit, whether it be video games, clothes, and comics. I found some books. I found records and vinyls. You know, they're there.
I
Just
found the
call
first
that
appearance
shirt
of
in the
Noah-
church,
found
right?
the first appearance of Noah's
Salvation
Ark.
Army. Salvation Army is good
Yep.
too for finding old trade paperbacks.
Yep.
I've done that. I've done where I've gone to the Salvation Army. I've gone to the thrift stores to look at comic books. Even garage sailing. I will tell you,
Yes.
there are, when it comes to those, there are really, really slim pickings around this area. And I've noticed too that certain areas you can find really good books. Like I noticed in California, within the New York area, you can always find these gems, these key issues, and what have you. But in this part of the world, Texas, for some reason, I don't know if everybody collects comic books here or what, but it's hard to find those things. You know, it's hard to find really good deals. And if you did find something, they're always on their smartphone, their app form. And they're like, okay, let's see how this goes, how much this is going off eBay, and they'll try to sell you off eBay prices. You know.
That's,
Um,
that's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, my store doesn't do that. They don't.
You know when they I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but I've heard stories about stores where they don't put price on the books. So when you go to the front, you go
Yeah,
and see
they look it up.
live online to see
Yeah,
the
they
price,
look
and
it up.
then you go.
And I think that's I don't like that. I got a store that's like that, and I try to avoid them at all costs, or at least I try to find a book that does have a price on it, because I know what he's going to do. He's going to look it up, and he's like, well, I'll give it to this. Well, no, you don't have a price tag, and I'm going off on the comic price tag, so give it to me for the 75 cents, or I'm putting it back. I'm sorry, price your shit. I mean, seriously, price your
I have a
shit.
store down here,
You-
Chameleon Comics. They the owner, he goes on eBay and he checks the sold listings.
Nah,
What's the last one sold? And then I have another spot. It's pretty good. They the owner, he that's Time Machine. He goes in the book and he gives you half whatever grade he thinks it is. He
Okay.
gives you half of that.
Have you guys, because Marky said you talk about it, about this comic store that you don't like. Do you guys have this store in your town where you're like,
Yes.
I won't go there, but if
Yes.
I must, you know, if it's my last resort, I'm gonna go there. But please, I don't want to go there. You know.
Sometimes I find some stuff at that place, but the thing
Yeah.
is, when they do sales and stuff like that, yeah, I'm gonna go check it out, because then if he's got a 50% off, yeah, I'm gonna definitely go now.
All right, I have a question for everybody there. What's the weirdest place you found comics though? Like you know, you walk into an antique store, you see some old chairs and stuff. All of a sudden, there's some comics there. Yeah, they might be
would say
some
that.
Richie
Yeah,
Rich,
like something like that in our town.
Well, where's the weirdest place you found comics? Like, actually, the weirdest place I found comics was in the wall. We were renovating and we found them in the wall. But I'm talking about like hunting. Yeah, in Newfoundland, man, Newfoundland. Like, shit is tight. We got to insulate our houses somehow.
That's why there's no comic book stores near you, because all the comic shop is in the wall.
Yeah, they are comic book stores. We just call them like home building supplies.
Yeah, I heard of that.
I've heard that before. Yeah. Biggies, you can attest to this. The blueprinting plants that we did. How many contractors I have talked to many of times and said, "Hey, I found a comic underneath an oil burner or some shit like that," because they use the whatever, if it leaks or whatever, they have the comic book sop it up or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and one guy told me he found a Golden Age Superman book.
That's terrible.
Yeah, well, I found that last issue of Captain Marvel and all those Ring magazines. They were in somebody's ceiling, in between the ceiling and the attic, and they were pulling it down to put up new light fixtures, and boom, they all fell out. And
isn't that the isn't that the whole honey hole, the honey pod, or the most desired thing is running into a golden age or a gem comic book, whether it be at a garage sale or in a thrift store or someplace most unlikely, and just finding that book you want. I mean, what was it? Lou from Hero Statue Collector Lou told us he found Amazing Fantasy number 15, first appearance of the Amazing Spider-Man. In the wall when they were doing some construction. Well, people were doing some construction, and he found a few comic books, and happened to be one of them. You know, I think that stuff like that is just wow. It's just amazing. Crazy. You know, it is crazy.
The best part is finding the things, and the people you find them from, they don't know what they got in their hands, but you know what. That's what makes it good, because
I'm ready. I'm knocking down some friggin' walls.
What will happen is, and the owner knows what he has there. So
that person need to not only don't know what they have, but they also don't need to be like, oh, it's comics book. It must have some kind of value. I remember I went to my comic store. And there were these two guys with whole fucking Archies. Just disgusting Archies, and they thought they had the fucking $1 million. They thought they got $1 million out of those fucking comics. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you guys this: if something like, say, an incident like that did happen, and a guy just happened to find a Superman #1 or Amazing Fantasy number 15, and he just kind of just found it. He doesn't know what he has in his hand, but you're right beside him, and you know exactly how much that book is worth. Would you say something to that individual about what he has in his hand?
It's like probably 75 cents, and I'll take it off of your hand.
Okay.
Nah, man. I believe in karma.
Yeah, I would say
Come on.
I would tell him honestly just to fucking get that shit graded now.
I would make the man. I would help him sell it.
When it comes to comics, there's no It's not wrong not to do that when it comes to comics, because comics only value what you think is valued. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
but if we're talking
Batman to take $1 off the little kid's hand.
The guy has $1 million.
They got Amazing Fantasy 15, and they're selling it for $1, $2, and to them that's what it's valued for. So hey, I'm gonna give you the value that you think you want for it.
Exactly.
There's no.
No, I hear you. I mean,
you make a good point. You make a good point, Biggies.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
None of you
now
are invited to swim in my vat of comic books. None of you.
All I know is if I see somebody with an Amazing Fantasy 15 and they don't know the worth, I'll be like, you know what? I'll trade you a copy of Sleepwalker #1 if you give me Amazing Fantasy 15.
Exactly. It's the first issue. It's the #1.
Yeah, it's a #1.
I'll give you that 1 in 50 variant. Don't worry.
I gotta be honest with you. It's gonna be very hard to say that people don't know who Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and all that other.
You can find somebody. You can find somebody. Trust me.
They're out there.
But the comic says
definitely out
Amazing
there.
Fantasy 15. It's not Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man on the cover, but it's not a Spider-Man comic.
Oh boy.
That's why here you just keep pronouncing everything wrong. You're like, cool, Slipperman #1, awesome. Wow, I love Bertman. He's wicked.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Manny, what about you, man? You saw a
man.
situation like that, man.
Nah, man, I ain't gonna take the dude's comic, man. Let him have it, man.
Yeah, no.
I'm with Manny. I'd act as somebody help. I would help him sell it. That's what I would do.
I agree.
Good karma.
Get
I help
it
him sell it to
back.
me.
At least,
Yeah.
maybe he might be like, oh, you know what? I don't really care. I know what it's worth. Give me $100. I'll be like, all right, here you go.
I'm gonna bite
I
his
do it with the
finger to
quickness.
get this fucking comic. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, if he brings the offer up to you, instead of you kind of low, I'll be like, fine, if that's what you want, I will give it to him. But I'm not going to go and try to jive him for it because he found it. You know, it's like me, finders keepers, losers weepers. He found it, and he'll do what he wants with it. If he wants to give it to me for $100, fine. If he wants some advice, I'll give it to him. But that's it.
Just offer the split. Say you have the book, I have the knowledge. 50 we sell it. 50-50 split.
You have the brain.
And
I agree with that.
I have another situation. The same thing happens with Amazing Fantasy number 15, but this time it's a kid who finds it, and he just goes like, "Oh, it's a comic book," and you see that kind of stuff.
Different case. That's different altogether. Completely different. You punch him in the face and you take the comic.
I walk away and I get a new bottle. That's what I do.
No. What you do is you offer the kids some candy, like, here, Timmy, have a candy bar. That's great.
No, we're not that channel. We're not that channel.
Come on, kid.
Come into my white van.
Oh my God!
My ice cream truck. He's my ice cream truck.
I was just gonna trade to a candy bar. I wasn't gonna invite nobody to the truck now.
What about you,
I
Trevor?
do not
What
approve
would
of
you
that.
do? There's a key book, a gem for you, whether it be it a Action Comics #1 or what have you, and it just happened to find it, and a guy grabs it, and would you take it off his hands for nothing, or would you say, hey, listen, this comic book is worth this much money, you could probably sell it and make this much money, or would you try to I don't know, get it from him, finagle, or
I got to be able to sleep at night. I would feel
Trevor,
terrible
come on.
if
You're not going to give that up.
I would feel.
that.
You know what though? I would make a
You're
deal.
not
I would
going to
go.
give that up.
We'll sell it. We'll split the cost 50-50. I'll do this. I'll do all the legwork for you. We'll split the cost. Because if he doesn't know what it's worth, and he goes to sell it to someone else for $1, he's losing out anyway. So I'm offering my knowledge for a 50% equity stake in his book. Seems like a
I feel
win-win
like
to me.
Shark Tank.
All right, so let me change it this way. How about if you find it in your LCS for $1 in the dollar bin?
That's
And you
different.
don't know it's there.
Oh, that's
That's not leaving the comic
They
shop.
didn't know.
Put
It was
that
Not
in
leaving the comic shop.
Totally different. He's a business.
You're still gonna rip
That's
them
his
off.
mistake.
No.
The worst
Come
comic
on.
shop ever.
They're a
man.
comic
You find
shop.
that in a dollar
That's their
bin.
business, and if they don't know what their
Yeah.
stock is, that's on them.
Yeah,
That's
it's
how I look
exactly.
at it.
It's their if it's their business and they have it priced incorrectly, that's totally on them. That has nothing to do with my morals or my karma or anything like that. That's a mistake on their.
Karma be damned.
But if
I
it's just a kid or whatever, no, you can't. I mean, no, you got to be able to sleep at night, and I wouldn't be able to sleep at night ripping someone
you know
off.
what? I'm gonna have to side with Enrique on this one because he says that if what he's selling it to you is worth what it is valued to him, then that's what it's valued to him. The only reason why anything else is valued than what it is off of eBay or off of Overstreet Price Guide is because they hyped it up themselves. I mean,
Exactly.
you get a book like Amazing Fantasy, who's the first appearance of Amazing Spider-Man, I got it, and then you compare that with, I don't know, with Dennis the Menace #1, and of course, first appearance, whatever. I mean, what's the value of that comic to that person? I'm gonna have to side with Biggie's on this one, man.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
have to go with
It's a
him.
good. It's a
I
good-
will
it's
sleep.
only one you-
I will go straight to bed even before my head hits the pillow, knowing that I got that comic book, man.
I mean, you make
I'm
a
just-
good.
I'm
You
just
make a
good.
valid point. You make a valid point, and I think it's one of those points where everyone is gonna have their own differing opinions on it. But I mean, nobody's
It'd be a
right. Nobody's
12-hour
wrong.
show,
It's-
honestly.
no one's ever gonna
I mean, there's a
find
lot
it.
of different
It's one of those decisions that if you don't make that decision the right way, you're gonna freaking regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
If you
fair
let
enough.
a book like that slip out your hands, especially for Rage, if a Superman, Action Comics, come on, Yeah,
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
you're not gonna
I'm
let
not
that thing
saying
slip
it
out of your
was
hands.
easy. I'm not
I
saying
mean,
it was
I mean, for the hype of everything's, and Enrique says people are beasting. I mean, look what they're beasting over right now. What are they beasting over right now? Doctor Manhattan,
Oh,
before,
God.
was it
Number-
before the Watchmen?
Before the
Number
Watchmen,
four,
Dr. Manhattan, number
Yeah.
4.
because of this whole new rebirth thing, right? That was leaked out. Yeah, that's
Right.
that's the one right there. So I go to Hastings today, and I just happened to find me a copy of number 4. All right, and this is the Adam Hughes cover. I just happened to, and I bought it for cover price $3.99. But if you go on eBay, those are going for how much
$80.
now? $80 to $100, right?
That's
Wow.
nuts. Absolutely nuts.
So who am I paying the value of this comic to? I'm paying the value of this comic to the store that I bought it from, which was $3.99. Now somebody else set the price to $80 to $100 off of eBay because it's sought after, and for whatever reason, one reason or another, and so people make those own prices because, I mean, who dictates Overstreet Price Guide? Who dictates that? Is there like a subcommittee or committee that says
There's a committee.
a subcommittee, right?
Yeah,
And where do
comic
they get
shops
it?
and stuff.
And where do they get it from?
They get it out of thin air. Thin air.
in there.
All prices on comic books are made up. All made up. And
True.
anything that's priced out of, even for like a 1 in 10 variant, all that shit is out of thin air. It's just somebody thinking, okay, well, it's worth this much, and then it starts off like that trend.
It starts off with
The
someone
market
selling it.
dictates it, though. The market.
Yeah,
exactly.
It starts off out of thin air, then the market dictates where it goes from there. I mean, look at Age of Apocalypse books and.
Yep.
Well, back in the
everything
day,
else.
there was always that big controversy. Like, I remember getting early Overstreet Price guides,
Yep.
and you thumb through and you see their advisors and things like that, and you really, once you start realizing that these are all shop owners. These are all shop owners who are sitting on stock, and they're encouraging. They're saying, "Oh, this is the hot book coming up this season. This is before movies and stuff." So they're saying, "This season, keep an eye out for Bronze Age horror. This season, keep an eye out for whatever." And everybody was saying, "Yeah, they're just trying to sell overstock, man. They're just trying to hype up the books that they have all the collection and stuff now." And it's still kind of the same way. Shops still kind of do that.
Yeah. Check this out. Yesterday there were only 2 people selling this Dr. Manhattan number 4, right?
Right.
Now today there's 267.
Yep.
And Marty, that freaking Neil Adams variant, they want $150 for it on eBay. Best offer
for
right
the
now.
number, and which is, let me see, this one right here.
Yeah.
Talking about this one. They want.
And none of those were on eBay yesterday. None. Because I went and I
No,
looked. There were only 2
comics
people
now.
selling yesterday for $39.99.
You know, for the Dr. Manhattan number 4 for like $80. If you look closely,
Yeah.
Crazy.
they all just started. Like
Yeah,
29.
they all just started. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them
Yeah,
are 50,
and you see the
60, 70, 80. Yeah, the prices is all over the place. It's not.
And the
Comics
prices
like
are
it's
made
not
up. Those are made up prices.
Yeah,
Is the
it's
book
made
really
up.
worth that much? It's
And-
not worth that much because
Yeah.
Rebirth
It's
could
not
suck.
worth that much.
Because
Not
it's-
only that, they made a lot of printings
Don't
of
let
that
go
book.
down.
Again.
It's
Again,
because
they made a lot of
I'm
print-
pretty sure that guy paid to be on the top of the list. Now people are like, well, now this book is worth $80. Not.
No,
Yeah,
what happens is on eBay, how it works is the more pictures you put up, the more pictures you put up, the higher yours goes. It doesn't matter if it's 80, it doesn't matter if it's 40. So if you put 12 pictures, you go up. Now, if you pay for those extra, I think you only, because the limit is 12. So now if you go over that, you have to pay eBay to put more pictures up. But
Yeah.
a lot of these guys are not showing 12 pictures. Of course, they just show 1 picture.
Oh, you know, some books you don't need 12 pictures, especially on a modern. You just show the
I mean,
front,
you
the
do-
back, in the middle.
You do
That's
need
it.
12 pictures for a modern.
That-
You do.
No.
I
That's-
have to disagree with you because a lot of these guys, they'll put 1 picture up and then they'll give you a description and be like, oh, I'm not a professional grader, excellent condition. Yeah, I need more pictures than that. You got to show me more pictures
I
than that.
give them
Come on.
about 3 or 4, and I put that statement in because technically
So-
I'm not a grader. I mean, seriously, if they can look.
That's
at the
why when I
pictures-
sell, I don't
Yeah.
put grade. I give them
I
the
don't put
12
a grade
pictures
either.
so they can look.
But to wrap things up, go to your comic book store, get Dr. Manhattan number 4 if it's
Well,
like $1 or
that-
$2.
that-
If it's
not
$20,
fair. They pulled them all out.
Don't buy it.
They pulled them
That's
all
the
out.
thing.
I told you they pulled them out in one shop. I knew they were there when I went there last week for free comic
That-
book day on their
that
sale.
goes
They're
back.
gone.
That goes back to me saying that a lot of these, it doesn't matter if you go off to of quote unquote people you think the experts of like Overstreet Price Guide or CGC or CBCS or eBay or whoever it is, these comic book prices are just like Manny said, it's all over the place right now.
Yep.
The prices are all over. So it's based off of what people think they are valued at, think that they are valued at. So it's not always. I don't think it's always necessarily what they are really valued at, because if you see a guy that's selling a book, you can always talk the guy down. You can always haggle with him on eBay, because I've haggled plenty of times to get a key book that I've always wanted.
Yeah.
And so that's just the same thing at the conventions. You do a lot of haggling there too, and you kind of talk to the guy and say, well, I'll give you this much or how much, just whether he says yes or no. So I personally think for modern books, it's just based off the hypes of these books right now. I mean, yeah, probably a good book to have if you're wanting to know or understand the origin of the so-called rebirth for DC Comics.
Yeah.
So I think that's it's probably good to read. Plus, I like Adam Hughes, so I can never go wrong with Adam Hughes. I'm a big Adam Hughes fan, so I would have gotten this anyways.
Has Alan Moore's camp come out and commented on this whole rebirth
No,
thing?
Alan Moore didn't do that series. He didn't do that series.
No, but I'm talking about Watchmen, and he has an opinion on everything. I'm just curious as to what he's come out and said.
No, but my guess is he's thinking of sacrilegious
or something.
Because I don't see personally the point of the Watchmen in Rebirth. I've known it. I don't want any spoilers, guys. Don't tell me. But I personally don't.
Oh man,
it is a shame that Rorschach isn't in, continuity though. That he's a great character.
Mm-hmm.
He died. Of course, he's not in it. What the fuck?
There's some good characters with the Watchmen and everything, but I know this is the thing with the Before the Watchmen. When that came out, a lot of people scratched their heads like, why? And also Alan Moore was not, he didn't give a shit. He's like, oh, I don't, they have the property they can do, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not involved with it. And that was another thing. So I don't know how well it did on sales, but now I would say anybody that's trying to get that book right now, relax. Don't pay these prices, people. No. If you see it for cover, get it for cover. It will die down. You got to relax. And the people that have got it, it's up to you what you want to do with it. You want to sell it, you want to flip it, you want to trade it, you want to get that's worth more than that, because I think that's a fly-by-night book. That's what I think.
Comics is like the stock market. Comics is like the stock market. One day, you can have a hot book. The next day, bam, it's nothing. Back in the dollar.
Look at all those variants that come out every week.
You can never go wrong with a older book. You can never go wrong with like a Hulk 181 or Giant Size X-Men #1.
Yes.
Those books will always hold their value. Or Amazing Spider-Man #129. Those books are going to hold their value because those are the first ever appearances of these characters that you can't redo this. You can't redo that. You can't reintroduce characters again.
And it was only one book, not a 10,000 variants, too. Only one book came out.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're talking about something that came out like 4 years ago that no one really cared about.
Nobody really cared about it. They were in
no one really cared about.
Which one?
And now all of a sudden,
like a big...
I'm talking about Before Watchmen. It's like one of those things that no one really cared about until now. And you know what? Just to caveat what Mark was saying, it's just wait a couple months, and
I'll agree with you.
That price will go down.
I've been collecting Before Watchmen,
All right. One person. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Just Kevin.
We're talking because honestly, when they said the whole Before Watchmen came out, I never really cared about it because it's like, anything that didn't have Alan Moore having to do with it, if he didn't have anything to do with Before Watchmen, I really didn't care. It felt like it was sacrilegious in some part. I don't know, but now all of a sudden it's a big thing. It's going to go down.
Is nice though because it's an Adam Hughes cover. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that.
That's just about it.
That's the selling point with the book. That's the selling point with the book. That's it.
Lure you in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the, when they created Watchmen, it was kind of a team when they created Watchmen. But I think one member of the team.
Yeah, the other guy is in. The other guy is in. Alan Moore was not. He was not involved with it. He wanted no part of it. He doesn't want to deal with DC. He doesn't want to deal with the shit. He hates everybody, and that's about it.
I wish he could do another great storyline now. I've tried to read this fucking, what's this called? Fucking Providence Oh god, it's fucking bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we all hit a wall. I mean, you know, the whole before Watchmen thing. Like by Christmas, that price will go down and go back to normal. And like right now, because on eBay, the average price right now to pick that certain copy up is like $30-$35. I would wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no, don't pick it for $30.
No, I'm just saying the average price is like $30 or $35 right now. Like the highest I've seen it is like $50. So you know,
Yeah, and it's also banking if Rebirth is going to be any good.
Yeah.
If Rebirth is no
Yeah,
good,
I mean that's the thing.
it's going to go down. Yeah.
Not every series in the Rebirth is going to be any good. I'll tell you that right now.
What-
No,
which,
yeah, I
no,
agree.
of course not.
Do you guys think they're gonna bring back? You know, they already told us which series they're gonna bring back twice a month. But do you think they're gonna bring back another fucking Watchmen because of the Rebirth? Because it's the Watchmen, isn't it?
It would kind of make sense
well,
if they would,
see,
yeah.
But Kevin,
Yeah, I
you
would
don't
say
want to
that.
be spoiled, so I really want to tell you the relationship with the Watchmen with the New 52, but you
Oh,
don't want to
God.
be spoiled.
No, that's a big
yeah.
spoiler. Big spoiler.
It is a big
Okay,
spoiler.
no, I don't want.
I think
Look,
it's silly.
Book
but-
comes out Wednesday. We will find out then. Tune into next week's show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have some
Okay.
concerns.
switch
I have DC
we'll
Comics
switch
concerns.
the whole talk then. We're gonna just route to a new topic.
Okay.
No
Okay.
spoilers.
No.
So the next topic is hot books that aren't linked to TV shows or movies, as in what books are hot without the inflated boost.
Here you
from
go. That one.
movies.
Now that one. Now we just talked about it.
That's linked to a movie.
Next
That's linked
topic.
to a movie.
He brought it back.
No,
Yeah.
for me, it'd be Squadron Supreme. Keep an eye out for characters like Thundra. She's the protagonist in the new title. You got characters Thunderbolts, and yeah, people talk about movies with Thunderbolts, but all those characters, you see characters like Atlas keep returning over and time again. Other bad villains like Constrictor and all these villains that keep getting used in titles and stuff. Back in the day, it would be like they would only use these characters or a lot of these characters to save ownership, like to maintain them as Marvel or DC characters. But now you'll see that, yeah, you know what? They're throwing them in tons and tons of books. I mean, I think like Fool Killer is in like 3 different books at the moment right now.
Yeah.
Fool Killer, you know what I mean? So some of those characters are the ones that I would keep an eye out for. The ones that like you think are cool and
Yeah,
seem
Fool
to be
Killer,
showing
what's
up a
his
lot.
first appearance?
Yeah, like how Hyperion, you know, he's spawned off his own series
Right.
now.
Fool Killer got a couple appearances. He's got his first appearance as Fool Killer #1 in Man Thing. What is that issue again, Marky? Fool Killer Man Thing #7, I think, or Man Thing #3. I'm not gonna say that. I can't remember. And then Fool Killer #1 and Omega the Unknown issue number 7 and 8. There you go, yeah. But you get characters like that, like Solo and things like that, and yeah, they're morts. They're not very cool. They are cool. They're not super awesome, but they're being heavily utilized. So with the way the market is versus, you know, movie versus comic book continuity and how characters are being used, I would look at how often that they show up. And
I'll go with. I also go with the great. Like for instance, everything related to Robert Kirkman, that's gonna get value. Everything related to Brian K. Vaughan, gonna get value.
Yeah, but that the Robert Kirkman is based on shows.
Yeah, if the
I
show gets
would go-
announced, that's where it's
If you
gonna
go with Invincible #1, I'm pretty sure. Right now, it's pretty
Invincible's
like.
a very good.
Invincible
thing
number
right
one
now.
is it's a very the book is like a low print run and it's like super expensive.
I think you were onto something when you were saying Brian K. Vaughan, though. You look at like books like
Saga.
Why the Last Man.
Saga.
That's always
Paper
been
Girls.
worth money.
Paper Girl,
I think
Saga.
I think Lazarus. I think Lazarus is a really great story, like Lazarus and Saga, and
Velvet.
I think
and
those
Velvet
are-
too.
Saga.
yeah, I think those are really awesome, and they haven't done anything as far as anything on the horizon as far as movie talks or comic books or anything within that
Lazarus
nature.
had a couple months ago. They were talking about developing it into a TV show. Like I think somebody bought the right to Lazarus.
Well, and Michelle Rodriguez from Fast and Furious, she said she would love to play the Lazarus character.
Nice. I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
Um,
seeing
she
that.
got hooked on the comic, and after she read it, she like, I want to play this character.
Malar World too. Malar World, that's the stuff, man. It's good reads, and they're cheap. But you know, I don't know. I see them being a speculative books as well. Certain titles.
But
You know,
which
I haven't heard anything negative when it comes to the story of Saga or
it's a good storyline.
or Lazarus or Outcast or anything within those type
Everybody's
of
talking
books.
about Invincible too. I have to check that.
Mhm.
out.
Invincible. Fucking
Invincible is
amazing.
really great.
storyline.
That's an amazing book.
So I haven't read that yet, so I
Oh,
definitely have
God.
to check. But you know, a
Get
lot of
around to
these I tell you, these independent storylines. Me personally, I really enjoy them. They're
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is just Image still considered indie?
No.
it's
borderline.
mainstream. I think it's mainstream now because it has such a big cult following of certain books. But when you talk about Image, it's still referred to as indie comic books because the mainstream ones like DC and Marvel, those will always be your mainstream. But Image didn't show up until what early '90s or so.
92.
92, and then that was always still an independent. So
I would
right now,